Firstly, Zach, how was training this morning, particular reference to Michael Barlow and Anthony Morabito? How did they get through the session?
Yeah, I think they got through pretty well. It's good to have them out there. They're pretty key parts to our vibrancy in our sessions, and judging from afar, I think it was pretty good.
Will Michael be a chance to play this week? Does he look right to you?
He's been saying he's been right for 3 weeks, so I'd say so.
How exciting is it to have Anthony as a possibility to play after all that he's been through?
Yeah, it's an unbelievable story. You know, as you probably know, it's been a long journey and a pretty grinding one for him. And as you can probably imagine, it's a pretty exciting time for him. Whether he plays, whether he doesn't, he's still thereabouts, and that's the most exciting part.
And just tell me about the vibe of the group. Obviously, a couple of tough losses in a row. How are the guys feeling at the moment about where you're at this season?
Yeah, look, it hasn't been ideal. We know the effort's there, especially on the weekend. The effort was definitely there. It's just that as more the method was wrong. So we've gone through it this week. We've gone through our review and our tapes, and we've got some real strong focuses for this week to come out and pull it together.
Obviously, without giving too much away, has anything been spoken to the wider group by the senior players and also the coaches about some of the suspensions that have come through this year?
Not that I know of, but it's something that we try to avoid. The undisciplined ones are the ones that you don't want. The ones that are in the contest are some things that you can't avoid. But yeah, the ones behind the ball and all that sort of stuff is something that we want to get rid of. But hopefully we can move on and go forward.
What about the matchup with West Coast this week? They've obviously got some very good power forwards who have been playing well without kicking accurate lead. Will you take the resting ruckman? Will you likely take Josh Kennedy? What are you looking at this week in your preview?
My preview will probably be all three talls. Usually I rotate through them all. Usually the deepest player I'll be playing on, so they'll rotate usually through there. So the next couple of days I'll go through my videos with Mickey Pryor, and we'll see how we go on when the magnets are put up on the board.
Modern footy speak is it's 1 week at a time, and every game counts as much as the next one. You've played in big games, big finals, big games in Melbourne. Where does the Derby rank for you in terms of your experiences of it?
Oh yeah, well, the rivalry is pretty extreme over here. It's something you don't really think about when you're living in Melbourne. But from day one when I moved over here, you realise the rivalry between the two clubs. So it's a special day to play in, and we've really got to honour the occasion, and I'm sure we will.
Has the intensity gone up a notch from other regular games in the derbies you've played?
In comparison to normal games, yeah, it's absolutely right from the start. It's very physical, and it seems like there's a little bit extra on the line when it's only the 4 points, but it always seems like there is.
And tell us about a couple of guys who are coming up to milestones. Firstly, Aaron Sandilands, 200 games this week. How have you seen him, first from outside and also then coming to the club and playing with him?
From the outside, he was always a very imposing player. A player that you had to put a lot of work into as an opposing team, and coming over here to see the way he works and the way he trains and the effort he puts in for a guy his size is just second to none. And for him to get to 200 games, it's probably been a bit of a grind the last probably 3 or 4 years, with a few injuries and stuff, but he's starting to, you get all the games, put them together, and he's really starting to perform at his best level now.
Do you think he's been undervalued externally?
Possibly, but internally definitely not. So we rate him as high as anyone. So he gives us first use and a first look at the ball. So it's pretty important to us.